Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends.
That's right, Har. Wake me up when September ends. I've had enough.
Well, I've had enough of this weather. Forget about the end of September. I mean, I feel like it's been a week of just gloom and rain.
Have you had enough of Green Day, Harry?
I never liked Green Day.
No?
No, I was never a big fan.
You don't like when the drums kick in this song?
No. I mean, it's okay.
You know, some parts of songs, Harry, make you reach for the knob, as they say in radio parlance.
Is that right?
Yeah. Some
Is that
make
like
you
when
turn it down?
Yeah, or like the old program director would go, click. Remember when he'd do that?
Yeah, that was the old station change.
Off. He's turned you off because you were talking about something they didn't want you to talk about. In other words, something other than the Eagles.
The day after the Eagles Cowboys and you're on the show sheet 5 minutes in, click.
I used to love that.
So classic.
I literally walk into his office. During the break when I was working with Tony, and he'd be so upset with what Tony was doing. He'd just look at me and he'd go, click.
Oh, it's great.
That was his message to me, to go back in there and get the old man back on track.
Harry, your job is to get your arms around Tony Bruno's personality.
Yes. Good luck with that. Yeah. Can you imagine having that job?
That's like trying to make a snowball out of sand, Harry.
Right.
Just slips through your fingers.
That's like trying to catch a rooster.
Yeah.
Like a chicken running around in, on a like a pen.
Like Rocky.
Herding cats.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Corral Tony Bruno's ADD, Harry.
Exactly.
You did not get paid enough for that.
No, I definitely did not. Now, Renee Cruz jumps in here with Thin Lizzy. What is that in reference to? I love Thin Lizzy.
I have no idea. And he said, I love Black Sabbath as well. Like, where are we? Renee's often all over the place, Harry. You talk about ADD?
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to Renee Cruz.
But yeah, I loved Thin Lizzy. Was it Phil Lynott? Is that how you pronounced his name? The band, the leader?
Yeah.
He was like the bass player and the singer. He was great.
Yeah. He was awesome. I actually used a Thin Lizzy song as my closeout song to the first day of training camp's Flyers Daily.
Oh, yeah?
It was The Boys Are Back in Town.
Oh,
the boys.
Yeah, the boys got housed last night, I understand.
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah?
So people are jumping off bridges already, some Flyer fans. It's like, it's a
God.
game.
If you have any expectations with this crew, that's a you problem.
Yeah. Well, expectations that is a you problem, because that is the ultimate, way to maintain sanity, by realistic expectations.
Which you should have none.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. I'm not watching the games, but I heard a little clip of Tortorella, who I love, by the way.
Yeah.
Talking about the first team and the second team. I think he was talking about in the practice or something. And he said, so-and-so looked okay, but the other squad, they sucked.
Yeah.
I love when
he stopped the scrimmage and came down from upstairs and tore him one.
Is that right?
Yep. All of a sudden the scrimmage stopped. Both teams off the bench surrounded him as he walked down from the perch.
Uh-huh.
And let's just say the arms were flailing.
Oh,
He handed it to him.
Yeah.
Not putting up with it.
I love him.
He is great.
He is great.
It's amazing. Like, he's like a really chill dude, like calm and everything, until like he goes to that mode of coach on the bench, in the room, those kind of press conference, because he's real calm, kind of like Mikey Miss, like real calm and doesn't move fast. But when they're in their, like Mike in the studio or towards at a press conference or on the bench, snap, different guy.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you to you, but this is episode 75 of the Odd G's podcast. Harry Mays, Jason Martinez. Nice to meet all of you. Brought to you by the Fudge Kitchen. I wanted to thank you.
Why?
You have no idea why.
No.
Because you managed to do something that usually I just do on my own. And that's to look like a total fucking idiot. You put out this tweet about Lou Holtz getting caught on an open mic saying, why doesn't Iowa just fold their program or something?
No, it was Lou Holtz also said, off mic during commercial, quote, Iowa football should stop wasting everyone's time. They stink, end quote. And I said, I cannot disagree.
Yep.
That's
so
the
I
tweet.
see that.
Yeah.
And I look at Harry Mays as a reliable source. I'm going out. I go, that is just hilarious. And I'm telling every swinging, you know what, this side of the Mississippi about it that I'm talking to college football about. And they're looking at me like I'm like, what are you talking about? I bring it up with you here before the program, and you tell me that's not real.
No,
I just made that up. That was
a fake tweet.
Yeah, it's fake news, Harry.
It's fake news that I put out there. You know, I probably got influenced because Aton used to do that all the time. He'd like attribute quotes to people that didn't exist just to tweak people and to get them doing exactly what you did. Like telling other people, hey, geez, did you hear what so-and-so said? And they never said it.
See, now you're on a path, an Aton path, by the way, Harry, which is a winding road, let me tell you.
Yes.
Oftentimes you can't go back either because some of the parts of that road are blown up on the way after you pass them. But you're going down a path to get shadow banned.
Oh, is that right? Well, I think I'm already shadow banned. I think I'm already shadow banned. But anyway, that was in response to Lou Holtz apparently going off and giving his opinion on Ohio State's football team, basically saying, in other words, that they're kind of soft, like they're not tough enough, I think was basically what he was saying. I don't know if he did it on ESPN radio or with Pat McAfee or but he said it. And Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, used it as bulletin board material for their game against Notre Dame. Now, if you're taking Lou Holtz seriously, talking about a team that Notre Dame is playing, that's a you problem because he's a Notre Dame honk. He was a great coach there, won a national championship, I believe, in 1988 there, and he's forever a Notre Dame guy. So he's going to be pumping up the Irish and, taking down their competition. So, but Ryan, this is a proof that a couple of things. I learned this weekend. I didn't learn it. I already knew it, but it was sort of reaffirmed multiple times last weekend in college football that these coaches, not only do they listen or they read the stuff, but they use any little shred of something, any slight that they can make or manufacture that somebody said or wrote about their team. They're using it as motivation. And it was 3 instances this past weekend where that came about. The Ryan Day thing with Lou Holtz that prompted my fake tweet. And by the way, Iowa football does suck, and they should stop wasting everyone's time because everybody gets all Iowa's undefeated. We have a whiteout. We have a whiteout at Penn State. I told you that was going to be a blowout, didn't I?
Yeah.
31-0. Forget about Iowa. But the Ryan Day used it with Lou Holtz. The coach, I think his last name is Dickert. But Washington State.
Can't say that on the air, huh?
He used a Lee Corso quote saying Oregon State, Washington State were playing, and they're the 2 teams left over from the Pac-12 demolition. And he called it basically the no one watches bowl or something like that. This coach heard that. Yeah. He heard that on game day and used it and mentioned it in the post-game press conference. And then you got this guy Lanning over at Oregon, who's doing a really good job, by the way, allowed his pregame speech to be broadcast. Basically, he wanted it on social media so people could see it because he referenced a couple of things that some people thought were disrespectful towards Deion Sanders and Colorado, but he used it as motivation. These guys will use anything to motivate their squad, and I think all's fair in football. I have no problem with it.
If it's on the public record, if Lee Corso said it on ESPN or Lou Holtz said it on radio or whatever, or like you said, this other thing where, the coach talking, and look, Deion's got a bullseye.
Oh, of course he does.
He calls himself Prime.
Yeah. He wants the bullseye on him.
Yeah, because it takes it off his players.
Right. And it's fine. And, when you talk all that kind of smack and, you've got the turnover throne or whatever they bring with them on the road, they brought it to Oregon, what all this stuff, the sunglasses and all this stuff, when you bring all that attention on yourself and then you go out and get your ass kicked, it's going to come back on you. And and you got to understand that.
Yeah. I'm not going to go soft on you all of a sudden because, you got bludgeoned when you're out there pumping your chest nonstop. Look, in this world, if you're out there arrogant and pushing this and showboating and just high personality, me, when you get it handed to you, people are going to celebrate.
Right. And I love Deion. I think I love what he's doing at Colorado. Don't get me wrong.
Good for the game.
It really is. And I'm not threatened by it at all. I think it's fantastic. But if anybody thought that they were going to just go 10-2 this year, that's a you problem. Yeah, they won their first 3 games. They upset Texas Christian on the road. And, if they win 7 games this year, it's a fantastic year. He'll get to a bowl game. He's going to get more recruits coming in there to be a part of what he's got going, as long as he stays, as long as Dallas doesn't fire their head coach and Jera calls up Deion and says, I'd like you to come coach the Cowboys, because I could see that happening too.
Come on home.
Yeah, exactly. Bring Michael Irvin with you and let's go.
I mean, party. That would be some party.
Yeah. But Marcus Hayes was offended by it, I guess. The stuff that Coach Lanning was telling his team. I don't know. Can you pull up the tweet and play the video? Can we play that? Because basically he said something like, they're searching for clicks. We're out here, looking for wins or something like that. And we made it's Hollywood versus blue collar kind of thing. It'd be great if you could play it.
Let me see if I can find it. What should I search for in Twitter, Harry?
Well,
I found your tweet, but I can't.
Well, yeah, go to my tweet.
Yeah, but
you're
replying to Marcus Hayes, and I'm blocked.
Oh, you're blocked?
I'm blocked by Mark. Well, actually, the block is mutual, Harry. Let's put this on the screen for people.
Wait, why are you blocked?
Well, there's a million reasons. Let me see here. Okay, his Twitter handle is what is it? Ink stained
wretch, I believe.
Yeah. So you see your tweet here, Harry.
Right.
I see yours. Beyond disrespectful in quotes. He's doing the same thing. They all do. Use things for motivation. Day with Holt's comments. Dicker with Corsos. It's football. But I can't be able to see this post because they limit who can see their post. And he's right here. And you can see I have him blocked. It says you're blocked.
Oh,
they say it any bigger?
Wow. Well, here's the tweet. He said Marcus was taking the Sports Illustrated tweet, which says they're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. Oregon coach Dan Lanning had some words about Colorado in his pregame speech via ES. Love to hate at Deion Sanders. Now, I did not take it that way. I think Coach Lanning probably has a tremendous amount of respect for Deion Sanders. It's just that these coaches will use anything that they can to motivate their bunch.
Yeah.
And I said to him, beyond disrespectful, ? And then he replied to my response with sad. So he's not buying what I'm saying here. He thinks this is
ready for the video.
Okay.
Here it is.
All right.
Let me just pause it and go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Rooted in.
All right. Can you hear that, Harry?
Yeah. Rooted in substance, he says.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
Oh, I like this guy.
He's done a great job.
Yeah, rooted in clicks.
Yeah, rooted in substance.
Yeah.
They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. I don't think anything's disrespectful about that.
What is wrong? I mean, seriously, what are sports all about? Your opponent's disrespecting you.
Right.
Go out there and show. That's what sports is all about. You know who would have used that and been appreciative of that? Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He was making up fake shit in his head.
Like my fake tweets.
Yes. And he was using that fake narratives that he had in his head to generate competitiveness against his opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, that's whatever it takes. And coaches their job is to motivate a ton of young men there.
Yeah.
And
Deion's doing it too. Deion's doing it his way, and I love all of it. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. Now they're probably going to get their asses kicked again this week by USC at Colorado. I think they go to Colorado, but I mean, they were 20.5-point underdogs. I took Oregon.
Yeah.
And that game was over at halftime.
It's a good story.
It is.
At the beginning of the year, but it's going to be lost by Thanksgiving, clearly.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna come down to their level, which is probably just a little over 500. I think they'll probably go 7-5 because the Pac-12 is really good this year. This is the ultimate irony here, is you've got a conference that just blew itself to smithereens, and now they've got all these top 10 or top 20 teams. If you look at the rankings, the latest rankings of college football, we got Washington is ranked 7th. They're the top team in the Pac-12. USC is 8th. Oregon is 9th. Utah is 10th. You've got 4 straight from 7 through 10. Yes.
Wow.
And then you got Washington State comes in at 16th. Oregon State, who we talked about, at 19th. And I think that's it. Yeah. So you got half the conference is in the top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet they're going away. It's crazy. Oregon State plays Utah on Friday night this week. That's going to be a really good game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joey B says that, USC's there in Boulder this weekend.
Yeah.
The Fox Big Football Show is there again, too. He said, so lame. Fox and ESPN riding the prime wave. Such a clown show. Well, you knew that TV would get all over Dion and all that stuff.
Yeah. Now I don't think it's a clown show. This is the way he does it. He's trying to set a culture there that's going to attract a lot of players. There's a lot of players right now in high school that are saying, "Man, I'm opening up my recruiting again. I want to go play for Coach Prime."
Yeah. This is free marketing for him.
Yes.
And he is going to do anything, and that's one of the biggest parts of being a college football coach. It's about recruiting.
It is.
Getting your name back on the front page. And Colorado has been buried next to the obituaries for years.
Yes.
Since Eric Bieniemy was there. Harry.
An afterthought they've been, so I think it's awesome. But if anybody thought that, 3-0 was going to turn into, a top 10 team this year, it's not happening. Next year, maybe, but not this year.
Dion may want to take that Cowboy job quicker. Pretty soon, while the record's still north of 500 at this point. Yeah. Wow. So Marcus was upset with that.
I guess he thought it was beyond disrespectful, is what he said. So I just thought I had to comment. I got no beef with Marcus.
Reporting is beyond disrespectful at times.
What? What's your beef?
It's weird. It's weird between Marcus and I. We had a disagreement on social media years ago. I called him out. First of all, I had him on as a guest on a radio show that I was doing with Bobby E, with Rob Ellis.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just over the top, and I ended up hanging up on him.
What? No.
And I ended up, I ran him right out.
What, like Digger Phelps?
No, you were way kinder to Digger Phelps. You just said to Digger, look, we're up against it. We got to go.
Good luck with the book, Digger.
I hung up on him with vitriol.
Why?
It just something I forget what even the conversation was. It was ridiculous. And then there was a year, I think it was 2019, after the Flyer season, the exit day interviews. He took this one quote from Giroux and blew it up into this whole thing, but he left all the context out of it. So he took it like in the middle of what he was saying. And on its own, if you just read that, you were like, this guy, what? He didn't want to be here. He doesn't get it. But when you look at the whole quote, that's not what he was saying. And it was so obvious. And he wrote this huge hatchet piece on it. And I called him out and crushed him on it.
Oh, so you went after your boy G. That's what it is.
I had his back, but and Marcus didn't want to do the back and forth thing too much because I crushed him and he just went block. So I returned the favor, Harry. I go, you block me? No, I block you.
Buddy, see, that's the stuff you get from Mikey Miss, all this blocking nonsense.
Yeah. He used to come in on Monday, like we were at the Fanatic, and we'd be waiting to do the show. And we'd be sitting in the green room while you guys were on the air, and you come in. I had a block party this weekend.
Oh, every weekend was a block party for Mike. No, he belongs to a country club that one of my buddies is a member of, and actually, my buddy's trying to hook up us all playing together.
Oh, okay.
So I'll play golf with Marcus anytime.
Wow,
I got no beef.
91 LSXer says that Jason hung up on Marcus the same day John and Sean hung up on Bob Costas.
Did they hang up on Bob Costas?
I can't remember. I remember they did. I can't remember why.
Oh, they did? So that's true? That's not fake?
Yeah. That's not. That might be fake news, Harry. I don't know. Can we get our fact check team in order over here?
I just got
for long media.
I got to wonder, why would you hang up on Bob Costas?
Yeah. Are you a Bob Costas guy, huh?
I think he's really good, with like baseball.
Not Peter Costas.
No. Who the hell's that?
Isn't there a golf announcer, Peter? What's his name?
Oh, Peter Costas.
Yeah,
it's spelled
Costas.
different. Yeah, it's spelled
geez.
differently.
I'm off.
He's no longer on CBS though. They got rid of him.
Oh, that's an outrage, Harry.
Yeah, he's a swing coach.
Should I pull one? Should I pour out some of my half and half Wawa iced tea for him? Pour one out for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I mean, and the odd thing about my beef with Marcus is that we had that beef. We're both blocked each other, but I see him at the barn from time to time, and we talk. Hey, how you doing?
Oh yeah.
Civil.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we're bigger than
I
that,
don't like
Harry.
these beefs.
No,
you got to be bigger than the beef.
Yeah, I mean, the Twitter block's one thing. In the flesh, it's whatever. You're doing a job here. I don't think you're doing it well, but the whole thing. So, the whole thing.
Yeah, but we talk a little college football on here. We talked about USC at Colorado, Utah at Oregon State, Clemson. Did you see the Clemson Florida State game?
I did not.
Oh God, this Clemson. They can't get a kicker at Clemson. Seriously. They got this guy. It looks like a linebacker. Wears number 41 suited up as their kicker. And I understand, like, he might have, I don't know if he left the team and Dabo brought him back or whatever. It was kind of like a feel-good story in some way, shape, or form. I didn't really get involved with it.
Doesn't feel good when you're missing field goals.
Yeah, all I cared about was that he hits a chip shot field goal so I can cover the number. And I had Clemson +2. So they would have taken a 3-point lead, and the kid missed the chip shot field goal, and they lost the game in overtime.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the Clemson game. Then the Notre Dame game at night. All right. I took Notre Dame. Okay. I hate freaking Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But I took them because I just thought it was the right side. They're beating Ohio State. And then the final, well, first of all, they had the ball, and Ohio State with one timeout left. The clock is running down. They call a screen pass on 2nd and 15. And it fell incomplete. It was almost intercepted, but it fell incomplete and stopped the clock, which thus did not force Ohio State to call their final timeout. They get the ball back and go down the field, and on the final 2 plays, which ended in a touchdown, a walk-off, basically, for Ohio State, their defense, coached by my guy Al Golden, the former Temple head coach, had 10 players on the field for the final 2 plays. The final 2 plays. You don't have enough guys on the field. What is this? You talk about a clown show. That's a clown show.
Who's the guy that didn't get on the field? Now, is that the coach's fault he wasn't on the player wasn't on the field, or the player?
I mean, the position coaches and the coordinator got to have the right personnel package on the field for the most important plays of the game.
Yeah, Jesus, that's horrible.
I mean, come on.
I mean, what is this? This is Notre Dame. This is not some donkey program.
Right.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that would have been a huge win for that head coach.
Oh, yeah. At
who's
home.
new there. He's in his 2nd year. He actually played at Ohio State. I like him. I want him to succeed. And that would have been such a big win for that program.
Yeah.
And to go down like that, plus, I had Notre Dame. So that was 2 losses on Saturday I had.
Wow. And that is not fake news.
No, it is not.
Wow. We haven't even touched on it yet, Harry, but the 3-0 Eagles coming off Monday Night Football. And I mean, why did it take you 20 minutes to get to the Eagles? But they win again. They beat the Bucs. Defense got the job done. They do it.
DeAndre Swift was tremendous again.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, 3-0 is 3-0. I don't care how any of the games or any of the moments in games looked. 3-0 is 3-0.
It is. And you got to feel really good if you're an Eagle fan, because the quarterback hasn't looked sharp yet.
Yep.
Really he hasn't looked sharp in any of the games, in my view. And some of the play calls, I'm scratching my head. They had like a 3rd and 2 the other last night in the red zone and chose to throw it in the end zone instead of just getting the first down. and then they went for it on 4th and missed it. I think some of the things they're doing, make me scratch my head. But with the quarterback, he apparently had some sort of stomach flu apparently too last night. Maybe that was some of the reason he didn't look all that sharp. But he's missing throws that are out there. But he has not looked sharp yet, and you're 3-0. So you got to love that. DeAndre Swift has been tremendous. The offensive line is they're just so fun to watch. I just love watching those guys, Kelsey and the guards and big old Mailata, get to the second level and just pound people. It is really fun to watch. And their defensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage too. The kid Jalen Carter looks tremendous.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to like, man. You're 3-0. The Dallas Cowboys lose to the stinking Arizona Cardinals. How about that one?
That is unbelievable. So that going into the game.
Oh, yeah.
That they take the loss. I mean, their point differential heading into this weekend was gigantic, and they lose to that team. That's crazy.
With Josh Dobbs as quarterback. I mean, that guy's like a third-string quarterback, and he guided the Cardinals to a win over Dallas.
Amazing.
That is just tremendous.
Yeah.
The rest of the league. What do you think about the rest of the league? Now, San Francisco obviously is really, really good, but outside of San Francisco in this NFC, does anybody like remotely scare you?
Yeah, I mean, Dallas is good, even though they had that loss and it was bad. I mean, they're a good team, but what are they going to be at the key moments of the season? It's still early, and so, but they don't scare.
Their defense is good. Like they've got a pretty good defense. You know who else has a good defense is New Orleans. The Saints have a good D.
Yeah, they're 2-1.
Yeah, they're 2-1. But I'm looking at these teams. I'm like, yeah, New Orleans is half decent. But could New Orleans come into the Link and win in January? I don't think so. I don't think the Detroit Lions would have a chance of coming into the Link in January and winning.
Yeah,
the only team that I think could do it is San Francisco.
Yeah, because the defense is so good.
And that running back. If that running back is still vertical and healthy in the playoffs, and the quarterback is, Purdy, who's half decent. I mean, he's good enough. They could win. But that's the only
one
team.
That's the true threat. And we knew that going into this season.
Right. Nothing's changed, in other words. Now the East or the AFC, what am I saying? The East. The AFC. I just put a bet on the Miami Dolphins to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,200. It was at halftime of their game against Denver on Sunday. I'm like, I'm not waiting until they ended up hanging 70 on them. And I don't know what the odds are now, but I'm like, it'll probably go down. So I took them at plus 1,200. What do you think about that, Major? Yeah.
Wow. Obviously, you don't put a big nut of money on that but the payout if you hit it is monstrous.
Yeah, well, it's not as big as it probably was 2 weeks ago
before the 70.
Right. But I put that out on Sunday. I was at Miller's watching the games.
How many times has an NFL team hung a 70 spot on a team? That's got to be.
I think it's only happened. I know the Chicago Bears did it to Washington way back 85? In like 1940 or something in the playoffs.
That doesn't count.
That was a playoff game, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think 73. They could have kicked the field goal, I guess, and gotten the record, but they decided not to. They didn't want to rub it in. 70 was enough. Sean Payton, I wonder if he has any regrets from taking this job. Obviously, he's not, because even if he gets fired, he's going to collect all the money. So the answer is probably no. But this Russell Wilson and Sean Payton thing has not materialized through 3 weeks. They look like shit.
Yeah. Since Russell Wilson left Seattle, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Now, I know they fired the defensive coordinator, I think, Vance Joseph.
After the 70 spot?
Did they fire him, Joey B? He's our resident Denver expert.
Yeah.
But they got more problems than their defense giving up 70 points. That offense does not look right.
Let me give you this tweet from the old boss, Matt Nahagian, at Matt Nahagian on Twitter. He says, here are the of course, he's in San Francisco now. He said, here are the QBs I'd take over Brock Purdy right now.
Oh, I saw this.
He goes, Tua, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. That's it. That's the list. He goes, that's it. That's the list.
Okay. That's a Tony Kornheiser reference.
Yes.
That's it. That's the list. He used to always say that. It's pretty funny. I did see that tweet and it made me laugh.
You got Purdy up that high?
I'm trying to think if there's he wouldn't take Carr over Purdy.
You may have to have a call with him this afternoon.
Did he have Trevor Lawrence on there? Even though they lost this past week, I'd take Trevor Lawrence over Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
right.
It's just still there, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay. So he's still there, but I think they're calling for his head. I guess the fan base probably is.
Well, you gave up 70 points.
Yeah.
That's not an overreaction. They're going, he's got to go.
Yeah. But that Miami offense, man, I'll tell you, it's speed kills. Yeah. And as long as Tua can avoid the concussions, which he's one concussion away from maybe the end of his career, unfortunately. But if they can keep him from getting touched, they're going to be tough. They play Buffalo this week at Buffalo. So you're going to find out how good Miami is.
Circle the wagons, Harry.
Yeah, at Buffalo. That's a big one.
Wow.
And the Eagles finally play on Sunday this week. It seems like they were played Thursday night, then they played a Monday night, and we got a Sunday 1:00 against the Commanders.
You see, I like the rhythm of their season hasn't been there yet because of the Thursday and all that. I appreciate that. Just normal chalk 1:00 Sunday game.
Yeah.
Against a division opponent, Washington Commanders and Josh Harris at Lincoln Financial Field. The gates will be open at 7 a.m. for the tailgaters. And
8.5 point favorites they are. That seems like a lot.
How much?
For a division game? 8.5.
Yeah.
These games are usually ugly.
Yeah. And Washington's 2-1?
They're 2-1. They did not look good. Howell looked awful last week against Buffalo. I think he turned the ball over 3 or 4 times. Buffalo's D really put a number on him.
All right, let me give you the Eagles' schedule from now until the bye week, which is week 10 for them. So they get the win over New England 25-20. They beat Minnesota at home 34-20.
Minnesota's 0-3, by the way.
Yeah, they're cooked.
How about that?
Tampa Bay, they win last night on the road again. So 2 road wins already, 25-11. Right. Next game, as you alluded to, Sunday at 1:00 against Washington. Then they go on the road for 2. They go to L.A. and then New York to take on the Jets. See, the thing that's tough about this is you're going all the way across the country for the L.A. game. And then
which L.A. team?
It's the Rams.
Okay.
And then they get the Jets on the 15th.
Okay.
And then they come back home to take on the aforementioned Miami Dolphins.
That's a big one.
Yes. That's October 22nd.
And they're going to be wearing the Kelly Greens that night or that day, I believe.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. And what's the time of that game?
8:20. That's a night game.
Okay, so that's a night game. Yeah, they'll be wearing the Kelly Greens.
That's on NBC.
Okay. Oh, so that's Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
Okay.
And then at Washington on the 29th, and then Dallas is the last game before the bye at home. So in that, 6 games, can they go to 9-0 by the bye week? Or where's the slip up with Washington, Rams, the Jets, Miami, Washington on the road, and Dallas at home?
Maybe the Miami game.
Back home on Sunday Night Football, huh?
Maybe.
A road weary, perhaps?
Wow. They're a lot to handle.
Yeah.
You can't cover everybody. You can't double team everybody.
Yeah.
But then they could be 9-0.
KC and then KC on the road for a Monday night game.
Oh, so will Taylor Swift be there?
Well, probably, yeah.
Will Swifty be in the box?
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they can't show her enough right now, can they?
No, she might be back on tour by then. Her tour picks up in South America, I think, in November, so she might be out of town. But apparently, sales of Travis Kelce's jersey are up almost 400% after all the Swifties saw Taylor wearing it in the box.
Yeah, so that becomes now an item the Taylor Swift fans have to have.
Right.
Because
even though they probably don't know squat about football or even who Travis Kelce is. But they'll go buy it.
Is she dating him or not?
I think so.
I feel like we can't get a straight answer. I feel like that she was putting that box in a jersey just to continue the narrative to let it swell even further.
I think Jason Kelce has said that they're an item. I think he's on record as saying it is true.
Okay.
Yeah, this Travis Kelce's great. He could go down as the best tight end to ever play when it's all said and done. But he's an attention whore.
Oh yeah,
he really is.
Yeah, he's like a wide receiver, Harry.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, really.
Joey B says that Harry has a Taylor Swift countdown clock going already.
No, yeah. Robbie Ellis is a huge Taylor Swift guy. That is true. That's true.
True?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Because I worked with him too. And I think he took his daughter to the concert the year that I was working with him.
So Bobby E is rocking. So he's driving down in the car listening to Taylor.
Right.
Tay-Tay.
Right.
Wow. That's impressive. My daughter went and saw Taylor Swift twice, both at Lincoln Financial Field, like 4 years ago, and then this past tour. But I did not go with her. My wife went the first time, and then she went with my soon-to-be sister-in-law the last one. So
well,
I have not seen her.
You know who else went recently
to Taylor Swift?
See Taylor Swift.
Who's that?
Stephen A.
What? He went to the concert?
Apparently, Stephen A. was doing a humble brag flex on ESPN. I did not watch it because I don't watch them. But he claimed that he spent $20,000 he plunked down for Taylor Swift tickets. And
he went. Throw it out there that he spent $20,000 on concert.
Yeah, he just wanted to tell everybody that he spent $20K. He had $20K laying around in the glove box that he could throw down on Taylor Swift tickets to take, I guess, his daughter and her friends to see the show. And he went along with it and thought it was off the chain.
For $20,000, he better been on.
It better be off the chain. Exactly.
Jesus.
Yes.
$20,000. I don't like when guys pull that move. Oh, I spent $20,000. I have disposable income.
Yeah.
You know,
we know he makes a lot. He makes like what, $10 million a year or something.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I think is he the highest paid guy there at ESPN?
Probably. Yeah, because Berman's not full time anymore.
Right. I would hope that he makes more than Greenberg.
Oh God.
I know Greenberg makes a lot of money too.
I'm not a fan of either, to be honest with you. Brian says $20K. Where was he sitting, on her lap?
No, he bought like 10 tickets or something. Like he took all these kids.
Jeez.
I guess it wasn't just for him and his wife or something. It was like a bunch of kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. 91 LSXer said, imagine Gargano singing "It's a Love Story, Baby. Just Say Yes." I don't know the song.
I don't know.
I hear enough of these Taylor Swift songs when I'm in the car with my daughter. When she goes, "Dad, can you disconnect your Bluetooth?" I'm like, "Ah, jeez, here we go," because she wants to hook her phone up. I don't know the songs. The only song I can do is Anthony is the El King song.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Yeah, I like that song actually. X's and O's. Yeah.
Let me give you a little, Harry. Let me bring it up here because the people want this.
Yeah.
They're not getting it daily right now. So what is it? El King? I did this with Mike. Mike was having a day one time, and he's like, "You need to make me laugh." So I'm like, and he was just in one of those moods. I'm like, I got to cut the tension on this show today. So I decided on the fly to bring up the lyrics to this El King song, X's and O's, and bring it up on YouTube. Now, I had not rehearsed this at all.
Oh, so this was a one take thing.
Yeah, it was live on the air. It was not pre-recorded or anything. So I said, I did this, and I'll tell you what happened. What's that?
Isn't Elle King the daughter of like a comic actor?
Rob Schneider. Fumble.
Oh, okay.
Fumblerooski.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I pulled this one off.
I like this beat.
Yeah, good beat, right, Harry?
Good beat.
Had me a boy, turned me to a man. Told him all the things that he couldn't understand. Wow. Yeah, Mikey Fish. They call me the ball.
Oh, I remember Mike that day when you did it, and Mike was laughing. He couldn't control himself.
Yeah, I had to get a break.
Yeah.
They call me the ball.
And didn't Anthony call the studio and say, "I am gonna tear you apart"? Like he threatened you.
Get a break, and I see H1 ringing, hotline 1.
Right.
And I pick it up and I go, "Fanatic Studio," and he goes, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." He's in his car listening. Yeah, have me a boy, turned into a man.
Oh, you know what? He should have just come right in the studio. That would have been great.
Yeah, I would have left. I remember when him and I had a disagreement on the air and it spilled into the break. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that too. You told me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him that he ran a caller. What do you mean? I go, well, I disagree with you. You kind of ran him off. Let's go to a break. So we go to a break, and I have a live read. So I'm sitting there doing, now let me tell you about Conquerville, Nissan, blah, blah, blah. And he is just pacing back.
Right.
And we got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
did. Yeah. By that night, we got over it, though. But he didn't like me saying that I ran a guy. Yeah. He ran a guy.
Yeah.
You ran him a little quick, though. Let's tell the people about the Fudge Kitchen, Harry.
Yes, the Fudge Kitchen, the original Fudge Kitchen, is the official sponsor for Not For Long Media and the Odgies podcast, a staple down at the Jersey Shore. 6 locations: Cape May, Wildwood, Stone Harbor, and Ocean City. The original Fudge Kitchen, they make everything right in the store, guaranteeing a delicious product. Stop by and let them know that N4L sent you. But if you're not able to visit in person, not a problem. They ship it across the USA. Be sure to check them out at fudgekitchens.com. Shipping fudge and sweet treats across the USA. Now, as far as the Taylor Swift song,
hold on real quick. I want to get to this before we change topic. Okay. The 91 SXer says, reminded me of another moment I had with Anthony. He said, when you made fun of Anthony for hyping up that meaningless Simmons 3-pointer that he made in China, Anthony came in that day and he was floating. All the shooting worked out, the shooting coach, this and that. And I go to him on the air. I go, oh man, busy morning. He goes, why is that? I go, I had to put my lawn chairs out on Broad Street to save my spot for the parade because Simmons made a 3-pointer in China. And he was rip shit pissed off at me.
Well, in his defense, it was probably a day where if that hadn't happened, he would have had to just grind up Eagles all day. And he was like probably frothing at the mouth for something else to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'll stick up for him.
Yeah. Are you going to stick up for him in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to stick up for him here.
You do the Odgies podcast with me, Harry, not Anthony.
The Taylor Swift songs that I know, okay? You Need to Calm Down. I know that song because it's on my wife's playlist that she plays in the morning while she's getting ready for work.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Shake It Off.
Shake It Up. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, that's
Shake It Up.
One. No, that's the Cars.
Yes, which is a great song. Rick Ocasek.
Yes. And Bad Blood. I know that one.
Okay. What about Cruel Summer? That was a big one as well.
I'm sure it was a big one, but I don't know. That Cruel Summer, wasn't that a Bananarama song?
Yeah. Cruel Summer.
Yeah, I thought that was Bananarama. Is that a remake?
No, it's not. She has a different her version of it.
Oh, no, I've never heard
that. That's a great pull by you, Har. Yeah. Bananarama was the band that did that.
I like the Bananarama. They were kind of hot.
If I remember. In the video, they're wearing overalls.
Right.
And bopping around. Total 80s song.
Yes.
Let's go to the tape, Harry, a little.
Okay.
Cruel Summer from Bananarama. Let's see. Is it coming up here? Yeah, there we go.
It'll come up.
A lot of music. We're going to have to get BMI licensing fees on the program here soon.
Yeah, they got the bib overalls on it in this, I think. Yeah, there you go. Like the painter's outfit.
Yeah. This is like with the Go-Go's time.
Yeah, and Madonna was big in the middle. That hair.
Yep.
My girlfriend at the time at Shippensburg had that look.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not the Taylor version, but yeah.
No, but that I remember that song. It was a good one.
Yeah. Joey B brings up something good. He says, Harry, thoughts on 2 Monday Night Football games in the Eastern time? I brought this up to you before the show.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
One.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles came on ABC last night at 7:05 or whatever it was. They have that little pregame show that lasts 10 minutes just to get some advertising in. And I watched that, and I didn't even flip over at all to the Bengals and the Rams game, which was on ESPN. I guess that started at 8:15. I don't understand this.
Yeah, why are you splittering audience on Monday night?
I don't get it.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
The
lure of Monday Night Football, it was the entire nation is watching.
Right. It was a standalone game that all the players from the other teams were watching it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember living through that period of time where it was rough for the Eagles, and they didn't get a Monday night game for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got a Monday night game, it was a huge deal.
Right.
I think Monday Night Football was Al Michaels, Dan Dierdorf, and Frank Gifford at the time. But I mean, it's a while ago. But geez.
Yeah. Now, are you getting fired up for Phillies baseball? We only have 6 games left in the regular season. They've got the Pirates in for 3, and then they go to New York to finish things out. They just swept the Mets at Citizens Bank Park, took 4 games from them. I'm just amazed they got the games in because of the weather that we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this kid came up and pitched. I don't know if you saw this, but this Orion Kerkering.
His first name's Orion?
Orion, yeah, Orion, Kerkering. His dad was in the stands going nuts on every pitch. This guy throws 100 miles an hour and has a filthy slider. I'm telling you, man, this guy could be a weapon in the postseason. Coming out of the pen.
There's not a book on him yet.
Right. Well, I happened to catch an at bat, man. I was pretty impressed.
I would expect to visit Orion Kerkering's in Dublin if I was to go overseas, Harry. That sounds like an Irish pub.
Oh, yeah?
The name.
Yeah. Orion. It's kind of cool. I've never known anybody named Orion.
No, me neither. Wow.
I mean, it's not O''RYAN. It's like wasn't there a film company called Orion Pictures back in the day?
There's a Metallica song called Orion.
It's spelled that way, Orion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So the playoffs will begin next week?
Well, they got a week left in regular season.
Then a couple days and then it'll start the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But I'm looking forward to it, man.
I did not get a chance to watch this. The weather was delaying everything.
It's terrible.
Yeah, Sanfilippo was down there waiting for a game to start. He's like, I think they're going to start at 6 or whatever. But no, I was at Flyers training camp all weekend, every day, all day.
Oh, great.
Yeah, 57 players in 3 scrimmages a day, and talking to the boys and everybody. So, no, I did not catch any of it. I will be jumping back in for the playoffs. So for the Red October, as they say, Harry.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get to one more thing because you brought this up before the show. And I think it's really interesting. Is this?
Oh, the betting thing?
Yeah. What's it called? Bet Vision?
Bet Vision, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah.
It's like a new technology that will allow you to watch.
I hit my alarm off. Hold on. Go ahead. Talk.
It'll allow you to watch a football game on a screen, and you can also interact on the screen and place bets while you're watching the game.
So it split screens it. So like if I'm watching football and they're in the red zone, they're on the 19-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, will the team score here? Here's the live odds. I can put all my information in my account is on my TV. I just go, boom, yes. Give me to score the touchdown at -110, $100 bet.
Right. Yes, You'll be able to do that. It's going to have a video feed of the broadcast, including pop-up graphics with advanced stats, integrated betting odds, and on-screen wagering. So it's Genius Sports is the company, and they are the NFL's official data distributor, and it's their product.
Oh, so they have the official geo data and everything.
Right. And Caesars Sportsbook and Fanatics, which is Michael Rubin's company, have begun offering BetVision, and sportsbook operator Bet Rivers, I believe, who houses the Mikey Miss podcast, will also launch the product later this season.
Wow.
So
they've been testing it since week 1 of the season as well. This is interesting. It says all nationally broadcast games like Monday Night Football and select regional games on Sundays will be available. I wonder if this will be in other sports too, Harry.
Oh, I'm sure.
For football, it's perfect because football is a play, stop sport.
Yeah.
Flow sports like basketball and hockey will be a little bit different. Soccer, obviously, very difficult.
I mean, baseball you can do
would
it.
Be perfect.
Yeah, baseball you can do it.
Bryce Harper coming up facing this left-hander. The data of what he does against left-handers and would all be there for you to help you make a more, make your wager with more information right at your fingertips. Now, it's a lot to take in quickly.
It is.
Get it done. I'd be like, geez, I got to change the batteries in this remote. But no, that's awesome. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I know they talked about doing this in arena for some sports too. Like if a team's going on the power play, or that they would put the odds up there and you would have an app on your phone and you could live bet it in the arena or or the stadium, whatever.
Right in the seat in the stadium or the arena, right there.
They were going to have kiosks there too,
right,
on concourses to do it. I haven't seen that yet.
A lot of Aton discussion on the chat regarding the bet vision. Yes.
Wow. Joey B says that Aton may order via DoorDash 4 times a day watching Russian ping pong.
He may never leave his basement. Brian Cunningham, he sums it up. That could be dangerous. It is. That is going to be dangerous.
Yeah. It's a little too easy, but and the thing is, the question I have for you, Harry, is this: is a lot of times we watch sports to just immerse ourselves in a game and escape.
Right.
Now, sports with social media has changed that a little bit because you're also monitoring social media a lot of times to see what people have to say. I try not to do that anymore.
I try not to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people do because they want to say, oh my God, why did he call that play on third down? Or whatever it might be. Right. They live tweet during the game. Now this element to it as well, distraction, it's not really an escape anymore. It's almost work.
Right.
It's fun because you get skin in the game.
Yeah.
To a level, that can, and you never know what skin you're going to have in the game because it's going to happen based on situation. But I mean, geez, this is an active watch. It's not passive.
It is. No, it is. This is not, it cannot be relaxing.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. There's a lot of tension. But it's, the reason it's good is because you can watch a game, you can get a feel for the game, the ebbs and flows, the momentum. And, this team is, they're stopping them every time right now, but you might get good odds on a team going down the field and scoring, even though the last 4 times went 3 and out. So,
yep.
Boy, the degenerates are going to become even more degenerative. Degenerative.
Yes.
I need to say.
Degenerative. I like that.
Yes.
Now, I went down a rabbit hole yesterday that I'm known to do on Mondays. Music related. Are you familiar with Nilsson? Nilsson. Harry Nilsson.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I was down a rabbit hole for 4 hours yesterday afternoon.
What led you down that rabbit hole, Harry?
Well, I was just actually, I think it was probably John Lennon. Wow. I was reading something on Lennon and reading about his Lost Weekend, which was really about 18 months long, where Yoko allowed him to bang May Pang.
She hall passed him.
Yes, for like a year and a half.
Wow. That's a hell of a hall pass.
I know. He was in LA.
Expiration date on this thing?
He was in Los Angeles in the Hollywood Hills and hanging out with Harry Nilsson, drinking his face off, doing heroin and cocaine and all this stuff. And these guys were just like these rogues on Sunset Strip every night getting nuts. And then that led me to Nilsson's songs, which I really like. Everybody's Talking, Without You, One, Jump Into the Fire,
Coconut. Not the Metallica Jump Into the Fire. Jump Into the Fire.
No, not that one. But one song after another. This guy was a hell of a songwriter, man.
Well, this is early 70s, right?
Yeah, this is late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Well, the Lost Weekend was 1973 to 75. It spanned those years.
Wow, that's one long weekend, Harry.
Yeah, that's a long weekend.
Holy cow.
How about that?
Holy.
Yeah. And then he went back to Yoko in New York and then eventually got shot. Yeah. So he probably should have stayed with May Pang in LA.
Yeah.
And Harry.
Not outside of the what was
the Dakota.
Dakota, yeah.
The Dakota
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went right by when we were up there with the family a couple of years ago. We walked by that little area where he was assassinated.
He was right in the doorway there. Yeah.
Yep.
Across from Strawberry Fields in Central Park.
Yep, exactly.
Now, Brian Cunningham points out there's a great point. You should know this. Remember, Jump Into the Fire was in the Goodfellas soundtrack.
Really?
It's when what's his name is driving. He's picking up the guns and he's got to get the tomato sauce ready. He's going crazy and he's all high.
Yeah, he's high as a kite. He ends up in the emergency room.
And the choppers are overhead of the car and he's watching out the window.
Paranoid.
That's the song that's playing. It sounds like, and what I originally thought who this was when I first saw Goodfellas, I thought it was an INXS song because that's what it sounds like.
Really?
But it's Jump Into the Fire by Nilsson.
Let's go to the tape, Harry.
Off of Nilsson Schmilsson.
Little heartbeat to start like Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Great bass.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like INXS.
Yeah. Good bass line.
You can jump into the fire.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. He's driving around in the big caddy.
Yep.
And he keeps looking up.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. And then he almust back ends somebody.
And didn't he sell the guns? Didn't he sell the guns to somebody?
Yep. In the paper bag.
Yeah. And
yep.
And then he went to the hospital to pick up his brother. And the doctor said, you know, we got to check you out. You don't look good or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stopped over his gumads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was the one with all the cocaine, right? Weren't they? Yeah. Weren't that where they were cutting it?
Yeah. I remember she went on the scale, went.
Yeah, a big gummer.
Yeah, a little gummer. That's classic. Well, I'm glad that you didn't send me down your Harry Nilsson rabbit hole.
Right.
Because a lot of times you'll go down this rabbit hole and then you find it's lonely in the rabbit hole.
Right.
So what you do is you suck me in.
Right.
And then I'm in this web of Harry Nilsson.
But see, you don't have time anymore now that hockey started again.
No, I don't.
You're busy, so.
No, I got hockey. I got my sim racing leagues in full swing right now, Harry. There's a lot going, a lot of preparation that goes into this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it just doesn't happen on its own. All right, let's wrap it up there. What do you say?
All right.
All right. That's episode 75. A lot of fun today. We'll be back next week. We'll see what the Eagles do against the Commanders coming up this weekend. Try and go 4-0. So we'll be back next week. Make sure you follow Harry on Twitter at HMaysTU, myself at Jason Mert. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. We got to get some rating and reviews next week. We've got some. So we'll do that next week on episode 76. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.